Good day, ma'am. I am Cindy B. Abgelina, and I am here to present to you my report about Organization for Office Management and Business Research, Chapter 12. We have here Organization for Office Management and Business Research. So, office work constitutes an important segment of a modern enterprise. Office management is also concerned with the direction and supervision of office work. Office work also includes the recording of transactions such as the results of writing and answering letters, filing papers, typewriting, messenger work, computing, and related activities. So, effective handling of office work is basic to efficient management. So, the growing importance of office management is apparent in big increases registered by office employees as compared to non-office employees. So, the so-called white-collar workers are increasing percentage-wise at a rate faster than blue-collar workers. So, in the Philippines, traditional psychology makes employees prefer white-collar jobs even when blue-collar jobs are more remunerative. So while office management is not yet a profession like accounting nor a fixed and major function like sales or production, it is nevertheless growing in importance. So office management is thereof basically concerned with the overall directions of clerical activities as distinguished from such as finance, manufacturing, sales, and purchasing. So next slide, we have who is responsible for office management. So the office management may be specialized through the appointment of an office manager. So if the company has an office manager, he thereof will be responsible for the efficient execution of office management and services. So the office manager must have a general knowledge of every major part of enterprise and every intimate knowledge of some portions. He also must solve problems involving practically every activity of the enterprise. He also must possess a genuine insight and ability in managerial work. And the manager may have assistant to whom he is assigned such as responsibility, but the basic command and control are vested in him. So, sometimes office management is handled by the assistant secretary. So, the chief accountant or some other executives, the controller is sometimes charged with more than accounts is given. So supervisions over office activities. So in the bank, insurance companies, and financial institutions, the office manager may report directly to the president or to the major vice president. So in some companies that have no office manager, the responsibility of the office management and services may be delegated to an administrative assistant, assigning these responsibilities to various department heads of the enterprise has been experienced not effective. So next slide, we have importance of office work. So the importance of office work may be stated as follows. So first, we have office work is facilitating function. So it is the essential medium through which the various activities of the enterprise of an enterprise are focused together. So it is the lifeblood of many modern enterprise. Second, we have here office service as the basis of the entire managerial activities of planning, coordinating, directing, and controlling. So facts and information are necessary for intelligent planning. So this data involves separate records which in turn involves office tasks. So the integration of decisions and functions implied in coordination requires the change of information and constructions and adequate communications between members of management. And finally, all activities involve the full coordination of the office. So third one, we have here the technical and individual work of practically every department of the enterprise is implemented by the office function. So for instance, the credit department cannot operate successfully without the records of the creditors as to amounts and dates due, list of the delinquent accounts, credits history of customers and quantity of correspondence. This again emphasizes the importance of office work. So, next slide, we have here the office system. So, office system is the term applied to filing, making records, writing letters, computing, and so on. So, office work is organized. Each office has its system of office systems, and a well-organized business is made up to carefully laid out routines or established ways of doing work. As a matter of fact, there is a routine for performing every kind of office work. So, and all office work must go through the established routines. So, every similar pieces of work must undergo similar process through the same steps in the same way. So it is the extent to which certain office functions should be in the setting up a system. So in an issue frequently crops up centralized. So what clerical activities should be centralized and what should be decentralized? So the advocates of centralization argue that centralization enables flexibility in the use of clerical personnel. An example of centralization would be a stenotyping pool. So, next slide, we have specialization. So, instead of separate typist of stenographers of each unit, section, or a supervisor in a firm, all typists and stenographers would be concentrated in one pool and their services given where the need exists. So centralization lessens the cost of supervision and enables line executives to pay greater attention to the specific tasks without worrying too much about the office details. So we have here specialization. So specialization is fostered. So production in a simple job like handling an addressograph machine or memographing machine can be tremendously increased if the person handling it is a specialist and does not have to take dictation, type, or file records at the same time. So training is also easier in a centralized office. Wage administration, incentive payments, and performance checks are also better affected. So we have here centralization. So centralization may, however, be overdone. So the office manager may be concerned with his department that he forgets his main job to facilitate the work of the other departments. So confidential matters may leak out, irritating problems concerning minor changes and corrections in the correspondence, frequent consultations of certain records, priorities in handling of paperwork, and the red tape may hamper operations. So it is the job of top management to determine which centralization is good and to what extent it should be applied. So certain office works like mail, reception of callers, messagerial services, duplicating services, filing, computing, records management, library services, routine correspondence, and communications should to a certain extent be centralized. So, next slide, we have record keeping. So, records of purchase and sales of all activities and the place where these records are made up and kept is probably the most important work of the office. So in a large offices, these records are kept by the accounting officer at the same time that he is keeping track of all the accounts on the money received or paid or owed. So the same department further handles the function of recording, tabulating, and reporting results of all transactions. So the reports prepared show the past successes of or failures and help to determine the future activities of the company. So in the conduct of business, there is always the existence of the correspondence. So letters received and the letters sent out. In large offices, several persons may be assigned to handle correspondence, which after have been answered must be filed accordingly. So they must be easily located for reference in record keeping system is very important. So we have here, record must also be simple. So to meet the test of simplicity, records should be sufficient to meet requirements but no more. They should not exceed the requirements for which they are prepared. Second, we have records should also be accurate. They should not contain errors, and records should be economical. So in some instances, the cost of preparing and maintaining records may be more than the economy they were supposed to bring about. So records should be useful, and necessary records should also have no place in business. So next slide, we have office layout. So office layout, the job of office management with respect to the office layout consists of the determination of space requirements and their detailed utilization to provide practical arrangement of the physical factors. So the arrangement of office equipment may be functional. So this all typing would be in one section, all mailing would be in another, and all records in a fixed place. So arrangement may be according to the flow of work, either the flow of papers or the flow of persons handling office activity. So if the office is arranged according to the flow of work, that flow should be procedural, straight, and convenient. Environmental conditions such as light, temperature, and noise control may also determine the office layout, and quite often office layout is based on personal preferences and not on any system or scientific reason. So next slide, we have increasing use of office machines. So the increasing use of office machines in office has enabled the solution of certain office managerial problems and the lowering of office costs. So this means that those offices which previously used few machines in office management are now using more, while those offices that have always used machines are finding better or improved ways of using the machines already available. So for instance, typewriters and other machines have been electrified, calculating and duplicating devices have been simplified and speeded up, dictating and transcribing machines have been perfected and made easy to handle, and various accounting machines to produce necessary records and operations are widely used in big business concerns. So the net result of the increasing use of office machines has been to increase the quantity and quality of office performance. So aside from typing, calculating, duplicating, dictating, transcribing, and accounting machines, many companies also use microfilming, addressing, folding, stamping and mailing, sorting, billing, and tabulating machines. So each of these functions may be handled by different kinds of machines. So for instance, duplicating may be memographing, blueprinting, lithography, or photocopying. So next slide, we have here the office service. So as earlier stated, services are for the purpose of helping other departments of the business to facilitate their work to better advantage. So communication, for instance, is necessary between individuals, between departments, and with those outside the company. So some of the facilitating offices that may be summarized are: first, we have here handling papers. So incoming letters are received, opened, and sorted and distributed. So outgoing letters are folded, enclosed, and mailed. So mailing is an important service as it definitely facilitates communication. Second, we have here preparation of communication. So letters have to be dictated and transcribed. So receiving dictation is a service as it is a facilitating activity, and it may be accomplished through machine dictation and transcription. So telephone dictation is the use of dictograph and other devices. So third one, we have here centralized correspondence practice. So this is also a way of rendering office service since it facilitates communication by more adequately and promptly answering letters. So fourth one, we have conservation. So letters and papers must be preserved. They are the source of past and present information and guides in the future. So efficient filing is very essential in preserving these office products as it facilitates the finding of the desired by the various departments of the business paper needs. So fifth one, we have procurement, storing, and distribution of office stationery and supplies. So these materials are needed to carry and facilitate the work of everyone in the office. So sixth one, we have here maintenance of first aid unit. So this is an office service because it facilitates the taking care of accidents or sudden illness which may become serious if not attempted to promptly. So seventh one, we have employee services. So these services facilitates the effort of the employees more or less in their own behalf and may include an office library, office cafeteria, and other services mentioned in the chapter in organization of personnel. So on the next slide, we have office accounting organization. So office accounting organization, function of accounting. So from the standpoint of the office management, the main function of accounting is keeping the management informed about the operation of the whole business by collecting pertinent information and presenting the same to those who are responsible for the conduct of the business. So subsidiary to the main function is the recording function. In this case, the accountant makes available for immediate or future reference the facts about business, and the accounting department also is one of the most important departments of every business, whether large or small, since accurate and up-to-date records of business transactions mean a sound basis for all the business judgment. So next slide, we have office accounting organization. So in charge of the accounting department is the chief accountant. So he is the responsible usually to the controller, the treasurer, or even the general manager. So the number of the people in the accounting department depends upon the size of the company and the amount of the business it does. So example, in A. Robinson Business Organization and Practice shows a typical structural organization of an accounting department of a regular business concern. So we can see that the different functional divisions such as physical facilities, services and practices division, the office personnel division, each division in turn is composed of different sections or subsections, all carrying out the facilitating functions of the accounting department of the whole business enterprise. So, next slide, we have records. So records, the accounting department prepares records which how much money is received and paid out. So who owe the company as well as those to whom the company is indebted and for how much. So from the corresponding cost and so on. From these records, reports are prepared for the management standstill or is going backward. So report must indicate the weak and strong spots so that steps could be taken to strengthen the former at once. So accounting department also prepares reports for the different department heads showing the individual performance of each department as well as the departmental costs, in which case the department heads can watch the standing of their departments and check their progress. So next slide, we have the business research. So business research, for business to succeed, its operation must be based on accurate knowledge of facts. So the decision of businessman must, as far as practicable, be based on facts and not mere guesses or beliefs as to what the facts may be. So this is a function of business research to methodically and scientifically ascertain all facts that may have a bearing on the business. So together with the research is the function of forecasting. So business is also the premise on the knowledge that consumer desires and opinions are possible of approximating or estimating the reasonable certainty. So manufacturers want the data on the market potentials of their products. So what is the potential size of the markets? So are there any factors of geography, season habits of consumers, competition, laws, and channels of the distribution that must be considered. So research is the only necessary in product development in the formulation of marketing plans. So in the choice of advertising and sales promotion, the extent of capital investment. So So research may be either commercial or technical. So commercial research is mainly involved with consumer taste and desires. So it ascertains the trends in buying habits, the impact of sales promotion and advertising, and the quantities of and qualities of a food or service which must be achieved. So in the other side, technical research is concerned with studies on how product or its parts, equipment, and processes and methods may be developed and improved. So research may also be empirical if it relies heavily on past experiences to determine future ends, or it may use scientific methodology to establish causal relationships. So business research must be also systematic and scientific. It is the task of management to use it wisely and effectively if it is yield to maximum good. So I guess that could be all, ma'am. Again, I am Cindy B. Abgelina from BSHM 2A, and that is all. Thank you.